All right, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're getting into the absolute foundation of how our entire digital world actually connects. If you want to finally understand how the devices all around you are literally talking to each other and, completely ace your upcoming exams on it, you are absolutely in the right place.
But real quick, before we get too deep into the weeds here, I have a question for you. The internet or the web? What is the actual difference? People use these words interchangeably every single day, right? You probably say, oh, I'm surfing the web or I'm browsing the internet without even giving it a second thought. Well, spoiler alert, they are absolutely not the same thing. And knowing the difference is going to be incredibly critical.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Network architecture basics. 2. P2P versus client-server. 3. The global scale, covering the internet versus the WWW. 4. Essential internet services. And 5. Exam prep and review.
Okay, starting right off with Section 1, Network Architecture Basics.
So, network architecture basically refers to the actual design and arrangement of computers and devices in a network, and exactly how they communicate. Think of it kind of like the blueprint of a building, but, for computers. Now, when you're building these networks, you essentially have two main choices on how to lay out that blueprint: peer-to-peer and client-server. Let's break those down.
Moving right along to Section 2, P2P versus client-server.
First up is the peer-to-peer or P2P network. This is a setup where all the computers have equal status, with each one acting as both a client and a server. That phrase, equal status, is the absolute key takeaway here. There is literally no dedicated server bossing the other computers around. Every single machine sits on an even playing field, sharing its resources directly with its neighbors. Because there's no central boss computer dictating things, P2P is incredibly easy to set up and super cheap. Resource sharing is really simple. But we have to look at the downsides, right? Because there's zero central management, it is way less secure. Backups are a total manual headache, and performance just tanks as you add more computers. Basically, what starts off as a cheap, easy little solution can really quickly turn into a chaotic, unsecure mess. It's honestly kind of like a massive group project where nobody is the team leader.
That brings us to our alternative, the client-server network. Now here, one central server provides resources and services to multiple client computers. Notice the massive shift in power dynamics here? Instead of everyone being totally equal, one central, dedicated machine does all the heavy lifting. It provides the data, manages the security, and handles the services for all the other connected client machines. And as you'd probably expect, this architecture completely flips our pros and cons. On the plus side, we gain centralized data storage, way better security, easy automated backups, and incredibly high performance. It's exactly why large organizations, hospitals, and schools use this setup. But the catch? Well, it comes with a much higher installation cost. Plus, if that central server crashes, bam! It's a single point of failure, meaning services are instantly interrupted for absolutely everyone.
So, the really crucial point here is understanding exactly how these two models stacked up against each other. This direct contrast is a massive deal for your exams. Listen closely. P2P has no dedicated server, client-server does. P2P gives computers equal status. Client-server centralizes control. P2P is meant for small, low-cost setups, whereas client-server is for large, expensive, but highly secure environments. Lock this head-to-head comparison into your memory for sure.
All right, Section 3, the global scale, pitting the internet against the web.
Let's formally define the internet. It is a worldwide network of interconnected computer networks that enables users to communicate and share information. I want you to focus strictly on the word infrastructure here. The internet is the actual, physical, global connection of cables, servers, satellites, and routers. It's the physical tracks connecting the globe. Now, we have to contrast that physical infrastructure with the World Wide Web, or the WWW. The web is just a collection of web pages and websites that can be accessed through the internet using a web browser like Chrome, Firefox, or Edge. The web is simply the collection of pages and information you are looking at. It is absolutely not the cables or the physical network itself. And this right here brilliantly illustrates that difference, firmly separating the actual infrastructure from the service. The internet is the global infrastructure, and it provides tons of different services. The World Wide Web? That's just a collection of web pages, making it merely one specific service running on the internet.
Think of the internet as the physical roads and highways connecting the world, and the web as the individual shops located along those roads. You use the roads to get to the shops. They are literally not the same thing at all.
Moving to Section 4, Essential Internet Services. So, you might be wondering what else actually runs on those internet roads besides the web. Well, we have email, web browsing, file transfer, online chat, video conferencing, e-commerce, and e-learning. When you look at this whole list, you really start to realize the vast utility of the internet. Web browsing is literally just one single item on a very long list of incredible tools made possible by this global infrastructure.
To make these services instantly memorable for you, let's just anchor them to your real, everyday habits. Email. Hey, that's you sending assignments to your teachers. Web browsing is just searching for your study material online. Video conferencing is exactly what you do when you log into your online classes. E-commerce is just a fancy, formal term for your online shopping. And e-learning is using digital platforms for education, literally exactly like what you are doing right this very second.
And finally, Section 5, Exam Prep and Review. Okay, let's bring it all home with a rapid-fire recap. We covered network architecture, contrasting P2P, which is serverless, small, and cheap, against the client-server model, which uses a dedicated server, is highly secure, and is built for massive organizations. We also successfully separated the physical global internet infrastructure from the World Wide Web, and we listed out vital internet services like email, video conferencing, and e-commerce. That is the whole structural arc of this topic right there in a nutshell.
And here is exactly how you're going to be tested on all this. For a 1-mark question, expect to cleanly define the internet, the www, P2P, or client server. For 2 marks, practice listing out 4 distinct internet services or 4 advantages of the client-server model. Your 3-mark questions will almost certainly ask you to differentiate P2P and client-server, or the internet and the www. And finally, for those big 5-mark questions, be completely ready to explain the networked architectures or the internet services in deep detail, complete with drawing out the diagrams.
So, we have officially connected all the computers and learned the foundational services they run. But I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. Now that this entire global architecture is completely in place, what emerging trends are going to shape its future? Like, how will careers in IT evolve as this technology just keeps advancing? Well, that is exactly what we are going to unpack next time when we cover IT-enabled services and emerging trends. Keep this networking foundation fresh, stay super curious, and I'll see you in the next explainer.